There are crimes that announce themselves. They kick in doors, they shatter windows, they leave behind chaos, noise, and panic. And then there are crimes that arrive quietly. Crimes that knock first, that wait to be invited in, that sit down at your table and make polite conversation. Tonight's story, it isn't about a masked intruder, heck of a band. It isn't about a stranger lurking in the shadows. It's about a man who answered an ad, filled out some paperwork, passed background checks, and then did something so calculated, so controlled that nearly 20 years later, investigators still can't explain who he really was. He left behind DNA. He left behind witnesses. He was caught on camera, and yet somehow he never existed. This is the murder of Oakey L. Kite, and the man who may still be out there, living under another name. What do you think about that, Meg? It's about as exciting as your chair accidentally going down while we were sitting here, and I was trying not to laugh.
It's twice.
I don't know if it's just getting sat in too much while the kids are in the Beard Laws studio, which evolved from a pretty serious operation here into apparently what has turned into a preteen Sims 4 hangout. How did that happen?
You let that happen.
I let this happen. Life sure gets weird sometimes.
And you gave me your junkie chair.
I did give you that junkie chair. Shout out to Habata chairs. You have got to be one of the most uncomfortable chairs that I personally have ever sat in. And at the time of the recording, Meg was here, and I'm trying to get through the intro, and it went.
It was a nice gradual. Didn't do all that. Just went.
And then you were trying not to laugh, giving me that smirk as if a Baltimore Ravens fan was excited that the Steelers lost. That kind of smirk, and I felt it. But I kept it together, and I only chuckled partly through it, right?
You know.
What do I know?
Just kind of used to nothing ever working out the way it should. So
that's his life. Yeah, we're in the midst of just dropping things, throwing things, and ice storm heading our way in a time where we have to do some traveling. It is what it is, but it could be worse. We could be Oakey Albert Kite or Albert Oakley Albert Kite Jr. in this terrible situation. So again, voice you're hearing, obviously it's me, it's Matt, it's Beard Laws. Joining me as always, the Dun Queen, the beautiful, amazing, intelligent Meg.
Hey. Hello.
So this is have you heard of this at all? This one, I was scrolling the gram, and there was a cold case. No spoiler alerts, but this one is a pending investigation, I believe. Still looking for said person. And so let's talk about it on the Yore Town Podcast, right? We're here. We survived Christmas. How was your Christmas, Meg?
It was good.
Before we dive deep into this, it was good. Yeah, we had fun. Got to see a lot of family.
Yeah.
Kids seemed happy. Isla on the Stay Out of My Fridge podcast started out with Christmas was a 100 out of 100, but then I went to a 99, maybe a 98, 97, because there were some better Christmases. But this one was pretty good or something like that.
Oh, my.
Yeah, so it was interesting. I think I set it off because I had her try the sugar cookie freeze thing from Taco Bell, and she hated it. So it set her into a little bit of a mood. But did you know that she one time thought Play-Doh would taste good, so ate some Play-Doh in our house? Didn't know that, but it makes sense.
I mean, what kid hasn't?
I never ate Play-Doh. You ate Play-Doh?
I've tasted it. Everybody's tasted it.
I've never tasted it.
You're a liar.
I'm telling you right now, I've never ate it. Didn't grow up with the money to have Play-Doh in the house, let alone thinking that I would try it. I would tell you straight up if I tried it.
We made our own.
Play-Doh?
Yeah.
Probably tasted all right. She thought it would taste like cookie dough.
It smells like it sometimes.
Doesn't.
Yes, it does.
I'm a cookie dough king. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt.
It kind of smells like sugar cookie dough.
Anyways, Christmas was good. Hopefully everybody listening had a good holiday as well. I think we jump right into this. You ready? Let's figure out who Al Kite was. Seems good, right? I want to keep saying Oakley, but it's Oakey. Okay. Oakey. Albert Kite Jr., known to everyone as Al. They call me Al. Probably made the song after him, right?
Probably.
53 years old in 2004. So what's the math on that, Meg? 53 plus 21. Nailed it. He lived in Aurora, Colorado.
I whispered because you whispered. I don't know why I did that.
What?
I whispered because you whispered.
I know. I saw that.
I don't know
We went
what
into...
happened.
Well, when you do math properly, you have to whisper it. Right?
You didn't let me finish my answer, though.
I thought you said it.
I was trying to.
Well,
But then you started whispering also, and I stopped talking.
I was just excited I knew it. See, we didn't even need calculators. We're so old. We could just do math. Kids can't even tell time on a clock these days.
Nope.
But we can math it up in our brains. Anyway, sorry. We're like squirrels today. Lived in Aurora, Colorado, which is near where, Meg? Denver. A little quiet suburb. The kind of place where nothing dramatic ever makes the news. Al wasn't flashy. He wasn't reckless. And he wasn't hiding anything. He worked as a real estate appraiser. A job built on routine, trust, and accuracy. He showed up on time. He followed patterns. Coworkers described him as friendly, dependable, consistent. The kind of guy who would absolutely notice if, one day just decided to not show up to work, which is pretty important, right, Meg? Because this case doesn't begin with a crime scene. It began with people saying, something's wrong. I wouldn't just disappear. Got any guesses so far?
No.
All right, well, let's go to the decision that changed everything. How about that?
Okay.
So sometime in early 2004, Al made a practical decision. He had a spare bedroom. Rent's pretty expensive, Meg. So was life, it turns out, huh? Trust me, we know, right? So you know what he decided to do? He wanted to rent out a room at his place. Placed an ad. Normal wording, nothing unusual. Just offered a room for rent. No warning signs, no sense of danger. Just a man trying to make ends meet. Guess what, Meg? The ad was answered.
Boy.
Seems exciting, right? 2004? Got a random person coming in. At any point in your life, would you rent out a room?
No.
Not a chance in hell would I either. Seems like a weird thing, but I think it's pretty common, right? Like throughout bigger cities and stuff. Well, a man responded, introduced himself as Robert Cooper. Can't trust a man with two first names, can you, Meg?
Nope.
From the start, seemed pretty ideal. He was polite, well-spoken, calm. He didn't rush Al. He didn't push for an immediate move-in. He didn't overshare. He asked reasonable questions, showed up on time, and even dressed neatly. And then he did something that instantly lowered Al's guard. He filled out the rental application. He provided identification, provided employment information. He claimed that he worked for Wells Fargo. Everything looked legitimate. Everything looked good. Al runs a background check. Nothing came back. There was no criminal history, no red flags, which is exactly why it worked, right? Because sloppy lies fall apart. Carefully constructed ones, they don't now, do they? What are you thinking so far? Anything? Just a
I need to hear more.
Well, if you need to hear more, turns out I got more. Because people, the people who actually saw this Robert Cooper remembered him. But they didn't remember him overly vivid. If that makes sense, right? That alone is probably a little unsettling, isn't it? All he was described was a white male, roughly middle-aged, average height, average build. That's pretty tough. Because it was nothing extreme. It was nothing memorable. I mean, there was no like, hey, he had these eyes and this tattoo, this whatever. Average, normal, average. Some witnesses, though, noticed that he kind of had a limp, maybe even used a cane. Others, they said that he may have been Eastern European, possibly Romanian. Not strong, not obvious, but maybe just enough to notice. And then forget, which maybe might be the most disturbing part of this whole thing, because, let's be honest, forgettable? What do you think, Meg? Could it be intentional? Intentional forgettable?
Maybe.
Maybe? Or just bad luck?
Probably put some work into it.
Yeah. So Al and the old Robert Cooper, they met again late May of 2004. This was supposed to be routine. They were just going to finalize the details. Hey, let's talk over the move-in timing. Let's handle the payment. Investigators believe this meeting lasted hours. There was no signs of forced entry. No neighbors reported any shouting. There was no sudden disturbance, which means whatever happened next didn't start as chaos. It started as control. Let's go with that. Right?
Okay.
Still need more?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Here for the story.
Al's body, Meg, it was eventually discovered. It was in the basement of his own house. And it was immediately clear that this wasn't a quick crime. He was bound carefully, tightly. Unfortunately, Meg, he was tortured. Not impulsively. He wasn't tortured in a frenzy. He was murdered with, Meg. He removed things. That alone tells us something pretty critical. He wasn't afraid of being interrupted. He felt safe. What do you think? And let me guess. I know you got questions. I probably don't even have answers. What are you thinking of this case? This is like modern day nightmare. I mean, this dude has
I feel like he knows that there wasn't going to be a lot of people coming in and out, because if you had a lot of people coming in and out, you wouldn't put an ad out for a roommate, which means you could potentially be a lonely person.
Very lonely.
So I feel like that was all planned.
I feel like it too. Do you think at this point the old Robert Cooper was intentionally seeking to murder somebody, or do you think?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you don't just take an ad out, murder somebody because it just happened. Maybe the payment changed, maybe something. You were intentionally answering an ad and being like, I'm going to kill this dude and do nasty things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. And you're probably thinking like, oh, well, how do they find him? Well, I guess we spoke about earlier, Al, he was a routine guy. He always showed up. He was always there, especially at work in his field. But when he failed to show up for work, people noticed, and that mattered because he was very consistent. They tried to contact him. They got nothing. Eventually, police, they were asked to perform a welfare check. When officers entered the home, they found the body in the basement, and the scene, it was horrifying, Meg. But controlled. Again, it wasn't a burglary gone wrong. It wasn't a ransack. This is what they felt was targeted. And it was intentional. But there were some missing items, though, which was interesting because everybody said no burglary, not burglary. But the wallet was missing of Al. His cell phone was missing. You know what else was missing? His pickup truck. And then something strange happened. Someone actually tried to use his debit card at an ATM. They tried to use it at the ATM I was on. They'd be blind still. That one today, those lights were bright, but I look good on that camera. Security footage, well, they captured it, Meg. But again, this is 2004. And unfortunately, the man was wearing a ski mask. Or the individual, I guess. And also had on gloves. But they were driving Al's truck. He failed to withdraw the money. But unfortunately, I mean, obviously the damage is far been already done because, well, he's dead. But the police, they had a video. But then know what he did? Got rid of it. Yeah. They recovered it pretty close to Al's residence. Cell phone was actually found, of all places, in a payphone booth.
Ironic.
Isn't it? A little too ironic. Don't you think?
I see what you did.
Yeah, you like that? Wonder if there was rain on this guy's wedding day.
Probably not. I don't think he's married.
I never know. How many times is there people that do all this disgusting things and they got a full family and they just blend in with the community?
Maybe.
Maybe they send the people on trips, the family on trips, but I can't stay. I can't go on the trip. I got to work.
Maybe.
But what's wild? The payphone booth wasn't lost. It wasn't discarded randomly. It was placed, which they felt suggested something chilling. The killer wasn't improvising. He was managing exposure. That's pretty dangerous, right? So police, they quickly focused on the renter, the man calling himself Robert Cooper. They obviously quickly discovered the identity was fake. That's why there was no red flags. There was no anything else. It was a made-up name, Meg.
That makes sense.
If you were to have a made-up name, what would you call yourself? You got one yet?
Valerie.
Well, you've thought about this?
No, I just
Valerie.
it's just what came to my mind.
Fair enough. All right, Valerie. They got him as a fake identity. The driver's license wasn't real. The employment history that he used wasn't real. No Wells Fargo. The personal details led absolutely nowhere. This wasn't simple identity theft. This was identity fabrication. Someone built a person just long enough to use them and then just discarded them. I mean, if you're going to be the psychopath and a murderer, that's the way to do it, right? But here's where the case becomes extraordinary. The killer left behind some DNA, Meg, and it was enough to build a full genetic profile. So you're thinking, like I'm thinking, should have solved everything, right?
You would think.
But when investigators ran it through the database, nothing. No criminal history, no prior arrests, no matches. Not locally, not nationally. Which only leaves, a few possibilities? Either the killer had never been arrested, or he wasn't from the U.S., or he had lived his life off the grid. None of those are comforting at all, are they?
No.
What do you think? Is it one of those three or none of those three? I mean, maybe it's the first kill. One and done. Was never arrested, never nothing. Never did the 23andMe. Never did the fingerprints. Or maybe some people did describe him of Eastern Europe, maybe Romania. Maybe he was in the country, never from the U.S.
Yeah.
I doubt the off-the-grid thing, though, right?
I don't know, because technology still wasn't great back then.
Wasn't great, but me, I wouldn't think somebody that lived completely off the grid all of a sudden would just randomly want to rent a room in a house and kill somebody. Maybe? What do you think?
Yeah, I guess.
So, years later, though, investigators turned to advanced DNA phenotyping. They used genetic markers. They created a composite image of what the suspect may have looked like based on ancestry, eye color, hair color, skin tone, and facial structure. It wasn't a photograph. It was biology's best guess. A face pulled from DNA. And even with that, guess what? No name. Wild, isn't it, that they could come up with, just off DNA, come up with what they think this person looks like and still have nothing.
Right.
So, I mean, at this point, they're trying to profile, a ghost? So behavioral analysts, they noted several key traits. The killer was emotionally controlled, comfortable with prolonged violence, capable of deception, capable of long-term planning. This wasn't his first time pretending to be someone else. And Al may not have been chosen specifically. He may have simply been accessible, which raises a terrifying thought. What if this wasn't the first door that this man knocked on?
Right.
That's terrifying, right? I don't like that. So, I mean, where did this guy go? Because after the murder, it appeared that he just vanished. No financial trail, no confirmed travel, no known associates, which suggests something far worse than a disappearance. He didn't vanish, he blended in. Another name, another city, probably, maybe, answering another ad.
New look.
New look. I mean, I don't like that. Most true crime kind of lets everybody distance themselves, right? Like, this wouldn't happen to me. This case almost doesn't allow that because nothing about Al's choices were reckless, right? I mean, he had an extra room, wanted to make ends meet. He trusted the paperwork.
He did the background.
He trusted the system. He kind of trusted normalcy, right? And normalcy almost betrayed him, right? I don't know. It's still an active, open investigation in the state of Colorado. They, to this day, haven't found the guy. And I mean, even in 2004, even if, Al would have been 74, if the killer was even remotely close, they might not be around anymore. But it makes you wonder, was there any other cases of ads answered and murders throughout the country that just maybe a cold case as well, right? And the case isn't overly terrifying just because it wasn't unsolved. It's kind of terrifying because it worked, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a man created a life convincing enough to pass every single safeguard. He entered a home legally, stayed calm, and killed deliberately. And then erased himself. Gone. I mean, he didn't die because he was careless. He died because he trusted the world to function the way the world's supposed to function. Unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't. Ugh. I mean, I guess if someone who knows who Robert Cooper really was, that person, these people that know him, they've stayed silent for a long time because nobody becomes a ghost alone, right? If the story makes anybody out there uncomfortable, good. It probably should, right? Because the scariest monsters, they don't break in. They move in.
Are want ads in the paper still a thing?
I don't know. When's the last time you've read a paper?
I don't know. My dad does every day.
Does he? We should call him up and be like, hey, they still got wanted ads in the paper? Because I don't know. I don't know the last time I picked up a paper. I mean, I was even recently in a paper, was interviewed. I still didn't pick up the paper. Probably should have, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of businesses, they just kind of like hit the classifieds online still, like the local news ones and stuff, you know? It's scary either way. I mean, wasn't there a case of like the Craigslist killer that was going around at one point? There was probably a Facebook killer. I mean, you got to be careful what you're putting out on the internet, especially when it's in your home. But it's just scary that this dude did everything that you should, probably as a renter. That's unfortunate. I mean, if times weren't so tough, you wouldn't have ever needed to rent out a room, and it's sad. But I got nothing else. You got anything else on this?
Nope.
No? All right. Let's get out of here. Do it again next week. Might as well, right?
Might as well.
It's going to be the last one that we do in the year 2025. Next time we do one of these, it's going to be 2026. It's wild, right?
It's fun.
It's fun. Want to do it again next year? 52 more episodes next year? Got them in you?
Ugh. Yeah. No,
Whoa!
just kidding.
I tell you what. If we can get this video to do really well, get Meg a new chair. Get rid of this garbage gaming chair that just decides to itself. Maybe its favorite song was Lowrider.
It's not comfortable.
It's not comfortable at all.
Hurts your legs.
Hurts your legs, hurts your thighs, hurts your... But it did have a cool story of it being put together, right?
Yeah.
That'll always have some memories, but I will remember it once. We should put this in the ads and give it to somebody. Wait. Woo! Thank you. That's a sign. We're not getting rid of the chair. But all kidding aside, we can't thank you enough. Hopefully you guys all had a good holiday. Thankful for my family, my girls, and everything. It's been a good holiday. It's been a good year. I'm excited for 2020. A lot of big things happening. It's going to be a doozy. So, and Meg's going to finally be able to watch the rest of season 5 Stranger Things. Bring back Eddie.
Hopefully we have power.
Hopefully we have power. Let's go prep for this storm that's coming, because it's going to be a doozy as well. So, all kidding aside, can't thank you enough. 25. Be out. It's been good. 26, we're going to kick some ass, right, Meg?
Sure.
Going to kick all the butts.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. So, all right. That's all I got. We'll be back next week. Next year. We'll be back next year. That's so corny. We'll be back next week. That's all I got. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.